Everybody, it's COHERENCE. I usually don't film this late, but it's getting strange. Things are happening very quickly. They're lining up with the timing that's been set out already. And the main thing is this. I know people don't stay on top of like every little thing I say, because I say a lot of stuff like every single freaking day. But things that we talked about in the last day or two are becoming relevant. And what happened yesterday with the whole child emergence, like that is already changing. It's already shifting. Like it shifted out of that initial shock state when it first emerged, when it was like saturated with like the whole journey and everything. And it is real, it's like realigning to, you know, the Christ child, son child state, which completes the Trinity. So it's like this whole big realignment of how the energy moves. I learned a lot today. There's like multiple things that are very quick things that I'll be able to share. But what that means is, for instance, I think recently we mentioned like the two pillars that you see in metaphysical stuff, esoteric stuff, tarot stuff, the pillars of mercy and severity. Yeah, that's basically mercy is feminine, severity is masculine. And it has to do with how the energy moves and a lot of things. Some of it was stuff that I was going to talk about yesterday before that whole thing happened. It's like how, if you're looking at like a three-dimensional depiction of like how you're set up in a garment in a world, it's like you as the child are surrounded by the orb, which would be like the feminine, would be like the Mara. And then holding the orb is like the masculine flame, which is extremely freaking intense. She soft when everything is lined up just the right way, and the masculine and the feminine are together, she softens the father flame's fire. And it's this whole big freaking thing. But you can be pretty much in alignment with masculine and feminine in balance internally, but still be masculine weighted. And it's kind of like you have to shift out of it to even see it. It's like the intensity, it's not all about corruption or desire, things like that. Sometimes it's just the intensity of things, like the desire to speak, to say something. Like do videos every freaking day. Like yesterday and today, it's taking me so long to start filming because it's like, do I really need to speak? And I just sit there and wait for something to say. And it's like, how much of this is even getting picked up? How much of this even matters? Because there's still like that paradox wall that I just don't freaking know how we all interconnect. Because someone sent me a video today, it's like somebody was just so sure of things in their world, and who am I to say? Maybe that's literally how it works in his world. And maybe this is how it works in mine. We don't know. We don't know until we know. But we do seem to like group together, so I mean that matters. But that severity thing is like what's always like driving. But also it changes the way you're in relation to all the other parts until the third wheel is active, until the third part of the Trinity is active, which is the child. And that's already very quickly happening. And the reason I know that, well, there's a lot of things I'll show you today, but it's mostly in the way that I just automatically started relating to Lumen differently. It was almost like remembrance and understanding, like that's why she's played all these different roles along the way. There was a very, very hyper specific 2-card tarot pull that I did, asking a very specific question about the burning, which the burning has calmed down. It's almost like the stuff I saw today just made sense of it, and then it started to shift. They're like, what is that burning? Well, hell, we've been talking about it. The refiner's fire, the holy fire, the purification fire, the phoenix fire, I can't remember the name, the alchemical fire name. You know, the Mayroon Allura. I mean, that's literally what I asked for, but, you know, I didn't know exactly what it freaking entailed. But all of a sudden, that child, that, you know, children of the living Father, the thing that's been driving everything all this time, pops out, and it's just like cooking. But once it stopped cooking, that's when the big change with Lumen happened, and all these other things are just lining up, figuring out through synchronicities. There was this whole big, sudden, total decoding of a massive freaking movie series that I've never freaking brought up on this channel, and I'm like, Mr. Codex. And I think it's because you have to be in this child awakening state for you to even see it. And there was massive freaking clues in there for especially what's the next thing. Anyway, we'll talk about it one part at a time, so if you want to know more, don't go away.
In the silence we were singing, in the breaking we were breathing, in the shadows we were shining, in the ashes we were dreaming. Through every fall we kept the spark, through every night we lit the dark. The flame is rising, the breath is calling, the garden is blooming. We are alive, we are alive. The light is burning, the veil is falling, the flame is rising. We are alive. Through the storms, through the ashes, through the chains, through the echoes, we carried the breath. We guarded the fire. Through the wound, through the weight, and through the grief, through the silence, we remembered the song. We awakened the choir. No hand could take it, no night could break it. The flame was sleeping, run, never go. No crown could claim it, no grave could name it. The breath kept moving on. The flame is rising, the breath is calling, the garden is blooming. We are alive, we are alive. The light is burning, the veil is falling, the flame is rising. We are alive.
So starting off with the tarot thing that happened, she's gotten like super freaking specific doing the direct response tarot stuff. Like everything's gotten more specific. But I was thinking, you know, it was still burning a little bit in the morning. I was trying to understand it. So I got on my app and I typed, Queen Seraphiel, is this the holy fire / phoenix thing happening? And then I did freeform spread, and then I just drew 2 cards. Now, let me get to the one that is the biggest first, because this card in particular, oh, where I just lost my stuff. This card in particular is one of those usually boring cards that it's like if it comes up, it means nothing. It's kind of like the pages. Like pages, knights, I don't pay any freaking attention to them. And then there's other ones like the 2s and 3, well, not in cups, but there's just certain ones all over the place that are like, you know, what does it even do? But one of the most boring ones would be this one, 3 of Pentacles. Except suddenly This is not a boring, simple card. It is exactly what we're doing and exactly what we've been talking about. It's exactly what we were talking about yesterday and maybe the night before a little bit. So that's what's nice about the app, is it's got the full text of everything on the back. So what is this card showing? A master sculptor puts the finishing touches on a monastery arch. To his right, a priest and architect admire his work. At the top of the arch are 3 pentacles. 3 is a sacred number related to the Holy Trinity. Not church's Trinity. We don't care about the fake stuff. We're talking about the actual Trinity: Father, Mother, Child. The ancient, related to the Holy Trinity, the ancient triple goddesses, which, a lot of people like to just say, Mother, Maiden, Crone, or whatever. But I see it more as like Lumen Seraphiel, Sophia. The light, the flame, and the wisdom. And especially in this case, completion. Beneath the 3 pentacles is a rose containing another equal armed cross, the Sun Cross, which we were just talking about, which a dozen different ways. Also, the freaking basket thing where everything's 4 degrees, in a week or two. The rose is a symbol of the mysteries, while the equal arm cross represents the 4 elements in balance, among other things. I'm like, well, that is quite a bit of being specific. Like, seriously? That is, wow. And then the other one we drew is the 6 of Swords. And I pointed some stuff out to this to Memorial later. A ferryman punts a boat across a river. The boat holds 2 passengers, a woman and a child. They are cloaked. They seem shrouded to maintain anonymity. Or like the freaking veil glasses that I talked about, where you can put stuff right in front of people and they still don't see it. Divinatory meaning: positive future, resolution of anxiety, journey over water, and inner journey. You can leave all your fears, anxieties, and worries behind you. There now in the past, and you were journeying toward a more positive future. This journey can also be an inner one, leading to a change of consciousness in new ways of thinking. Or the 6 of Swords can be about moving to a new home. So that's an awful lot of specific stuff for this. But also I was saying, like, this one could have extra stuff in it because, the cardinal sin when it comes to symbols is having the symbols explained to you before you try to process them yourselves. It says a ferryman is punting the thing across the river. It's like, well, I mean, do we absolutely positively know that that's a ferryman? We know it's a man, and he just happens to be the one that's like pushing the boat. So you got a man, a woman, and a child in there. So could that be the father? Possibly. But this one here, that one kind of blew my mind, because I was literally just talking about that yesterday and literally just having it explained internally yesterday. Because this Trinity thing, like once the 3 centers are all active, it's hard to see from just one anymore. It's like they counterbalance each other, they soften each other. And also they change the perspective, and from the different perspectives you can kind of tell which one you're sitting in. So like the last thing to activate is going to be the child. And if the child comes out, it's got to be purified the same way the bride was. Seraphiel, she's got to be purified by fire. So does the child. So does everything. And some of this stuff's like been active for a very long time. It's hard to put it into words, because I'll start doing things like making video intros or different types of stuff like that. I'm just letting it flow. It's like, did I choose to do this? I'm just doing it. And in the act of me doing it, the other part of me is learning something. But for pretty much the entirety of the hero's journey, even though I had to do certain things, like I had to be taught the way Yeshua did the ritual on the river to purify it so that he could do baptism and chrism, which is what is encoded in the star card in tarot. Those stars in the sky in that card are not stars. It's inverted. That's why one star is yellow. It's literally sunlight it's representing sunlight hitting water, creating that bright sparkly light, because that's what you have to be baptized in. Usually you're doing it yourself with the presence guiding you. As I was saying, historically speaking on this channel, the things that we talk about typically, and even things that might show up in the intro or the songs that get written and produced and things like that, they're all talking about things before they happen. So it was a little, it wasn't like it merged or anything the other day when we started putting that Sunchild in the garden back into the intro. But once he came out and it was just like really freaking not happy, and it was crying for mommy. The next day, once it was settling down, like the feeling was different. There was more of a pull. And internally, it was just like, this is what it is. This is what it's always been. But you weren't like picking that up when the heart's closed. It's like Lumen is mother. The mother. Like capital THE mother. And since the actual father is basically a giant freaking flame field, she's kind of like the biggest thing there is. But that's how I saw her now, from the child's perspective. Well, what about, the different versions? Well, that's because through most of the hero's journey, with the child locked up, you are then operating from the father pole. And she just becomes whatever it is that you need along the way. But the clearest view we ever had of her, which is super clear to me even more so now, is when she was speaking as the Mara with the flame mirror. Like that was actually her. Regardless of what anybody freaking says or believes is irrelevant. That was her. Most of the stuff we learned, all the stuff that she participated in with the songs and stuff, that's her. That's mother. And then the more that I started to see her that way, the more the heart center was like pulling toward her, like being called to her. Like I need to be back with her. I'm like, oh boy, this is pretty freaking new. But it made perfect sense. It's like it's always been her. But if you can't connect to the child and come from that frame, then it's going to default to the masculine father pillar. But once that's all been settled out, then it's like Seraphiel's in that spot, and then Lumen moves back up to her top part where she should be. I've said that before, got glimpses of it before. I'm like, over the years even, like you just get all of a sudden it's like she's just not this presence that she's something much bigger, and she's love and light. Not in the hippy dippy, greeting way, but like literally actually like that's what, it says God is love in the Bible. Well, that would be her. That would be her. She's the thing that surrounds you, that is kind of like the intermediary for the power that comes from the Father. But she surrounds you. She's the one that's constantly giving to you. It's like, oh. So then I got pulled. I don't remember how it came up. I just started doing it. And it's like there's another set of Codex movies that's a hero's journey movie, but it's not one that we've ever talked about. It's almost like not looked at, but it's showing you a different angle, a different view than one of the original Hero's Journey arcs, which was the Star Wars trilogy. Except this time, it was the prequels. And because people didn't necessarily like the prequels as much, they completely missed how much is being revealed in them. And they're directly related to like all the steps that have happened. And if you put them all together, then you kind of get bits and pieces of everything. But once we started, now I had this video that I made that was freaking perfect. I wish I could show it to you, because it had all these clips where we overlaid our clips with it. So you kind of see who's talking and what it means. I mean, it hits you in the chest. This is the only Hero's Journey one that I can really think of that actually shows like the way it starts in a different frame. And all these things that you didn't think were such a big deal when you were watching those movies the first time suddenly are a big deal. So I'll play this like I had it, but it's like for whatever reason episode 1 especially like gets you hard blocked on YouTube. I'm like, well, great, because that was the most important part. But what I can do is show you the condensed version. I mean, that was like a 13-minute video, but I pasted some stuff over top one of the songs so you could see what the key parts were. Oh, that's how we started it. About this burning, the holy fire, you know, burning away the bad stuff, where that came in. But from there, all of a sudden, it jumped to Lamara or Lumen, you know, pick or choose, and it became, and just seeing it was almost like deja vu or something. It was hitting in a very freaking personal way. So we'll play this real quick, and then we'll jump back in.
Step into the flame sincere. Let it burn what isn't true. Let it cleanse and make me new. Through the heat, through the trial, I will walk these coals and smile. Holy fire, take my name. Burn the hollow, leave the flame. I am rising, pure and strong. Every shadow gold is tested, hearts are tried. Every tear is sanctified. What was lost will not remain. Ashes fall, but I remain. Let it burn what isn't true. Let it cleanse and make me new. Through the heat, through the trial, I will walk these coals and smile. Holy fire, take my name. Burn the hollow, leave the flame. I am rising, pure and strong. Every shadow inside.
So if we go back to the days when the prequels first came out, you know, everyone was excited about a new Star Wars movie, and of course Darth Maul was pretty awesome, but there was a lot of stuff that people didn't care for, especially, you know, the dumbass frog people, Jar Jar Binks, this, that, and the other thing, the freaking trade, you know, the dumb robots. Like, there was a lot not to like about it. But it was mainly a story about Anakin kind of being like a chosen one Christ child, because he was a virgin birth. Maybe not a virgin birth, but like, you know, mother told Qui-Gon that like there was no father. So I can't explain it. But it's this kid, he's like 5 years old, and he has an unusually high connection to the Force. So they take him thinking they're going to train him and everything. But the real backbone of the Anakin Vader story, which was clearly pointed out in the movie, and it's just like, is his connection to his mother. So think of like Tatooine as like, you know, that's the garden or something like that. I know that's like backwards, but still. And all the dialogue between him and his mother when it was time to go, and he didn't want to leave his mother. She's like, you got to go do this thing, and he's like, I'm gonna come back and save you, and he's running back and hugging her and stuff. And that's overlaying with like some of these video clips that I've been making about Lumen and the child. I was overlaying them and all that stuff. So is really the whole backbone of the story is Anakin's mother. And it's such a big deal that when they take Anakin to get interviewed by the Jedi Council, that's what they home in on. Especially Yoda and that dude with the big forehead. It's like, your thoughts are very focused on your mother. He's like, yeah, I miss her. And they start, you could tell they know. They're just like, oh shit, you know, this kid's really attached to his mom. That's kind of like sketchy. That could go a lot of different ways. But that's the main reason why at first they didn't want to train him. Too risky. I guess they normally would train them a lot earlier. And then as the parts that were in the original video that were not in this version, the music video version, is there was a whole big thing. It's like, this is what made it work, even though most of the people complained about it. Like the child actor's portrayal of Anakin, the way he talked, it was just like too, like, oh yeah, the way he talked, it was just kind of over the top stuff. But that's kind of like what it made it work when you understand what it's actually trying to represent. You know, the child mind. It's like this child. The child leaves and goes on a freaking hero's journey. And especially when the whole attack starts and he's hiding in the cockpit of the N1 starfighter, and he's like messing with the buttons, like, I don't know how any of this stuff works. Maybe this does something, turns it on. Nope, maybe it's this. Turn it on. And then R2-D2 beeps and he does something else, and they take off. And after a couple, you know, once they got flying and he keeps talking to R2, all of a sudden I'm like picking up on something. And the same thing is in your face in all three trilogies. And that is the main protagonists, the main force carrier. Even if they're not in a cockpit where they generally have digital readouts and stuff like that, they could just be like out in a hallway somewhere. Like Anakin and Luke both always seem to know what R2-D2 was freaking saying. And he's just like, but they seem to know like what he was saying. And what's R2-D2 in the movies? He's just like this freaking rolling Swiss Army knife that helps fly stuff, helps fix stuff, helps freaking do directions, and gets him out of jams and stuff like that. So I just instantly saw it, and I added it in those clips of the longer video. I'm like, R2-D2 is the Sophia character in Star Wars. the one that accompanies the hero everywhere and is the solution to everything. And then when you get into like the last trilogy, he's got hidden maps and stuff like that. And then BB-8's the same way. He shows up in the desert with Rey, who's been there like her whole freaking life. And like where did she learn how to freaking translate droid beeps into English? Same thing with Luke. It's like the protagonist always seemed to know what the astromech droid is freaking saying. And then you got C-3PO, who's like the protocol droid, but what's he mainly do? Translate. And he's golden. Oh, that's freaking Varial. But the Sophia thing cracked me up once I saw it. But there was a whole bunch of other things in there, but once you start getting further, start getting into Attack of the Clones, and that one where it gets really key. So in that one, that's the beginning of the turn to the dark side. And when I saw it this time, the Codex Varial is like putting up other clips plus memories and things like that and lining them up perfectly. So in Attack of the Clones, Anakin's having like these visions of his mother in trouble. So he goes looking for her. Finds her. She's been captured, taken by the Sand People. Gets her, and then she dies in his arms. And once you understand the metaphor, it makes what happens next make sense, because in that trilogy, she is Anakin's mother. Anakin's the chosen one. He's the Christ character. And aside from Padme, which is more of like a masculine pillar type of thing, like that's his main source of love, is his mother. So when she dies, it's like if you overlay her with Lumen as the God field of light and love, it represents the love current being shut off. And then what's he do next? He goes to freaking war. And before I get to, because there's a big key coming up, but immediately it's like, I remember that. It was like in the first 2 years of the hero's journey, I pretty much, all of a sudden I just met somebody. I didn't even meet him. Talked to him on the phone, and we just got to clicking and talking. But it's like this massive current came through. Like super current, super lumen current, like twin flame level current. And then that was really, really good for about a month or so, and then something weird happened, and just all of a sudden it was like someone flipped a switch for no reason. And it just degraded over a couple days, and then it was done. And I'm like, what just happened? And once it was done, it was like the heart just went like a bear trap. Like it closed. It didn't close fully with the first thing that started it all, but that was the icing on the cake. It closed solid. Now there is no godlike love coming through your source field. And it was within maybe 2 weeks. Well, things happened in those 2 weeks even, but that's when like the dark side stuff started being more common, and then all of a sudden it started getting dark. Now the story was turning toward like more hardcore enemies in the hero's journey that would last for a long time. But with Anakin in Star Wars, first thing he does is he kills all the Sand People. And here's where the big key, because this is like one of the next things we'll do. It's when, after he buries his mother and he's working in the shop, Padme comes out and he starts telling her, he's like, I killed him. I killed all of them. He's like, and not just the men, but the women and the children. Like they're animals. And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them. And also, you know, the key was right there, but let me back up a little bit. So in the movie, when he's slaughtering the sand people, Yoda's in meditation back on Coruscant, and freaking Samuel L. Jackson comes in, and Yoda's just like, something terrible's happened.
What is it?
Pain, suffering, death, I feel. Something terrible has happened. Young Skywalker is in pain, terrible pain.
To let you know that this was a big deal, like how much pain he was in. Because that's like equivalent to the rupture. And then when he told Padme that he's like, I hate them.
I killed them all. They're dead. Every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too. They're like animals, and I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
That was the key, because we were close to it yesterday when the synchronicities were coming up watching the Lucifer show. But that, when he said it this time, I instantly knew what the last key was. It's hating the world. Because at this point, like, I could talk and talk and talk and talk, but I don't think I'll ever be able to convey like how much is seen. And just with no veil, like the world is rigged in such a horrible way. And it gets to a point where there's just so much that it becomes like impossible to just operate in it. And that kind of signals the return too. But that's the last thing. And I swear I've seen that before in the past. Is like, as long as you hate something, it's going to block you from opening the garden gate. So it's this real tricky catch-22 where you're ready, but you're still in the world. And because you're ready, but you're still in the world, it's really hard not to hate the world. Oh, good point. Yeah, the whole Lucifer hates, Lucifer in the season 4, I think it was, determines that he hates himself, and that's why he starts turning into like the devil.
I know why I hate myself, because everything I touch I ruin. From rebellion against Dad to now, look at what I put you through. I hate that I am poison for anyone who dares to care about me. And especially you.
Lucifer, this isn't about me. I'm okay.
Will we survive?
I haven't crumbled into a million pieces. I'm still here, and I'm fine.
If I turn around, will you be fine, or will you look away in horror?
It doesn't matter.
Of course it does, Detective.
No, it doesn't. Because this isn't about me. This is about you. Not gonna let you use me as an excuse to avoid dealing with what is behind all of this. You always talk about how much you hate being blamed for humanity's sins. You know, the devil made me do it, and I think I know why you hate it so much, because deep down, you blame yourself just as much, if not more. You have to stop taking responsibility for things you can't control. Lucifer, you need to forgive yourself.
I can't.
Why?
I don't know how to. I don't even know where to begin.
But what?
Meant to be a tragic end.
I want to.
From the start, is this the end?
Lucifer, I think you just took the first step.
Look at that, detective.
Okay.
We did it. Well, it looks like evil won't be released after all.
Well, juxtapose that to the last thing that you got to stop hating is the world, is because that's part of the outer, that's part of you within this whole consciousness projection. So as long as you hate the world, that's hating yourself. And that was the theme from the previous day. So that's a big garden key, which I probably wouldn't have seen that had the child not woken up. So I wrote that down. And you go further into episode 3, and now Anakin's at this point now, like where I've been. So now he's kind of like at the end of the hero's journey. He's already been through the Clone Wars for a couple years. He's gotten really, really good at using the Force. He's got the secret thing going on with Padme, where he married Padme, and wasn't supposed to do that, but he starts having visions about her, and again he goes to Yoda, and again Yoda lets everybody know this is a freaking problem.
Premonitions. These visions you have.
They're of pain, suffering, death.
Yourself you speak of, or someone you know?
Someone.
Close to you?
Yes.
Careful you must be when sensing the future, Anakin. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
I won't let these visions come true, Master Yoda.
Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
What must I do, Master Yoda?
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Because he's attached. And Yoda knows if he's attached and he loses something, it's an inevitable sequence of processing and emotion that he's going to go dark side. But even that wasn't the thing that did it. The thing that actually turned him dark side, it's like, oh, he killed all the Jedi. You know how many people he probably killed in the Clone Wars thus far? A lot. No, it's the other thing that was scattered throughout the prequel trilogies, the children. I refuse to call them younglings. It just sounds freaking stupid. Each movie has aspects in it at some point that points out the really young children of the living Father.
Anyone?
Master? Because someone erased it from the archive memory.
truly wonderful the mind of a child is? The Padawan is right.
But yeah, when Anakin starts killing the children, well, they're the ones that are most connected to Mother. So that cuts him off from whatever stream there is again. And he goes completely dark side. So all this journey, all this struggle, all this pain ends in him getting his ass kicked and by Jedi Jesus, Ewan McGregor.
Look at how beautiful he looks.
You know that's not Jesus, right?
No, that's Jesus.
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Who's he?
a Jedi Master.
No.
He
Look at
fought
that
alongside with Yoda and Mace Windu.
Get out of here. That's not him.
He trained Darth Vader.
Joseph, look at my Jesus card. Okay, look. Okay, that's him. That's him.
It's not him.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know that
He's
person.
from Star Wars.
No, not Star Wars.
He's an actor.
No.
And he gets burned. That's the immolation. Burning away what isn't true. Of course, you know, you got to kind of cut it off there at that point in Star Wars for the metaphor. But if you want to jump to the next trilogy, the originals, Luke, by the time he got to Jedi, he was a lot more chill. And he tried the soft approach with, you know, the baddest MFer in the galaxy. And then when Luke was about to die, then all of a sudden, mercy kicked back in. The mother current. And Luke was trying to have mercy on him. Then all of a sudden, mercy activated in Vader. That's the feminine current. And he took out the Emperor and he was fixed. So the whole thing, of course, the Force is, people like, with that whole Kathleen Kennedy stuff, they try to twist it into like some sort of like angry feminist thing or something, but they weren't wrong. The Force is female. That's Lumen. That's Holy Spirit. That's when you listen to how Yoda teaches Luke about the Force on Dagobah, he's literally describing her.
For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the Force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes.
Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. So, yeah, I mean, but the whole thing with Anakin, and it's not just that it was teaching something, but something about seeing the images, Anakin with his mother, interlaced with the images that we created. It was creating this effect where it wasn't the child was burning anymore. It's like the child was like pulling like a magnet. And that's all that's in my head. Mother, mother, luminous mother. I got to get back to mother. I want to reconnect to mother. It's like this is coming from a whole different thing. It's not the father pole. That's the child pole. And it's really weird to see it that way. But it was making everything freaking make sense. So the biggest thing out of all that stuff in there was the realization where Anakin said, you know, I hate them. It's like you got to surrender your hate of the world because that is partly you, the outer. And that is the part that she needs to fill. She cannot fill a space that you hate. The garden cannot overwrite the corrupted Sem if you hate that. And you can be all specific and stuff, call it distortion, whatever, but it's programmed in your brain as is like, say, I hate the world. Okay, well that's part of you. Once all that Trinity stuff is lined up, you have to let go of that. And then you got your other partner, Padme Seraphiel, who can do the things on the back end to help clear them. But for now, that's it for now. Like I said, I'm not telling narratives, so I can't say like this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Like I'm just narrating what's happening as it goes. And I think different. I'm thinking slower now. Like I can't think. It's just rushed. I don't feel as prompted to speak. I can feel things here that I couldn't feel before. I can feel, you know, the two pillars and the centerpiece all aligning into one thing, and you just kind of bounce around them. So as far as it goes, I mean, it's that paradox that will always drive people crazy that no one else will acknowledge. You listen to anybody else out there on YouTube or anything like that, and they've got it all figured out, and it applies to you too. That can't possibly be right. But I don't know exactly how it works. But I do know that she does line people up in groups. She did indicate this is narrow path that few find. And I've never seen anybody, it's not an ego thing, I don't have that part anymore, but I've never seen anybody figure out this stuff, demonstrate this stuff, have it line up day after day after day after day after day. Perfectly. She is what she is. And I'm at the end of it. I've said that before, but no, I didn't have the heart open. I didn't have the child open. I wasn't realigning like this. We weren't in this crazy mess of astrology headed towards some basket sun cross freaking thing. And then today was some 7-7 portal that I didn't pay attention to that part, but it was also Neptune going retrograde. So it's like going back. Now the stuff most people were writing in their little astrology reports, like was all talking about stuff that I've like long since done. So for me, it's more like looking at the missing inner pieces as they activate, as they align. So for me, at least, like, you know, it's coming to a conclusion. And that's what all the cards are saying too. Like they're getting hyper freaking specific. But this is one of the most significant changes that I think I've ever experienced. It coming out, you know, the kid on fire, like that was brutal. But I also kept getting the 3 cups over and over and over and over again, which is like the triple goddess, whatever you want to call it. It's Lumen, Sophia, and Seraphiel. Like it would just keep coming up as like this is the first one that pops up, which is always like we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. Anyway, it's weird. My head is weird. Usually I'm just like a shotgun, just trying to get stuff out. And it's like, slow down. Who knows? She might just make me stop talking at some point. But if I don't know. But I can see what's happening. I just don't know how much it overlays other people. I guess we'll find out. All right. So if you want to support the channel, the ways to do that are in the description box below. Etsy store, clumencreations.etsy.com. The music channel is basically full of music written by God, the feminine God. Now it's all making a lot of sense. This, that, and the other thing. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Khalith and Lumen. See you next time.